The Pro Series podcast is shifting gears. Instead of expert interviews, we're talking with school leaders about the moments that led them into education and what is currently sustaining their career. These conversations are not just about expertise. They are about the experience and people behind the job. We will hear honest stories, small wins, real challenges, and the tools or tricks helping them keep their heads above water. Each episode shares a glimpse of what it takes to lead a school and stay human in the process. Today's guest is Dana Stuart Browning, founder and CEO of the Texas Girls School. Inspired by her youngest daughter's experience, Dana set out to create a school that empowers young women to build confidence and pursue careers in STEM fields. A lifelong Texan and career educator, Dana has worn many hats: classroom teacher, curriculum writer, instructional coordinator, principal, and even College Board AP grader and instructor. She has also been recognized as a Texas Charter Schools Fellow and has led initiatives from building award-winning Model UN teams to supporting education and clean water access in Tanzania. Dana brings both her professional expertise and her personal passion as a mom of four to her mission of shaping spaces where girls can thrive. All righty. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Missy.
Oh, it's so good to have you on the podcast. So good to have you as my first guest with the recent shift because you're so easy to talk to.
Aw, well, you're so easy to talk to.
Stop. No, it's funny. I think about the first time we met because we had a Zoom call way back when you were still in, I think you had just had your charter approved. I don't even know if maybe you had it. Yeah, you had to have had it approved. But then we really got to connect at the charter school conference. And that was like the first time I saw you in the flesh. And girl, you can work a room.
I just like people.
You just like buzzing about. And at that point, you had already signed a contract, but you hadn't met your Daniela, your EA yet. So then you met her for the first time and you're like, done. Like, this is going to be great. And so, you are a people person. That's great.
And it's been great, Missy. And one of the greatest parts of this experience is that our EA had a baby. And so we were able to have our very first Texas Girls School baby shower and baby. And even though the baby is a boy, we're still claiming him as one of our own. So it's been a lovely, fun ride with you, and we couldn't be more happy with our EA.
We have loved it. It's really fun getting to watch you, as we'll learn here in a second, of like where you are in your current school journey. But before we get all the way in, so, I gave people that kind of high level bio, but talk to us a little bit about how you got into education. How are you here and still here? So yeah, talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, awesome. So I'm sure you shared that I'm a lifelong Texan, very proud of that. I grew up on Galveston Island, and I think that my experience there really set me up for lifelong education. I love to go on the beach. I love to be in the water, exploring the seashore. I just always was drawn to hands-on learning. And as a small child, would always ask my dad, like, can I make some money around the house? And he said, well, you can write reports for me. This is back, Missy, before the internet. We had an Encyclopedia Britannica.
Oh, yeah.
And it was A through Z. And he would say something like, well, I don't know about minks. Like, this is an animal, the mink. And so I would pull out the encyclopedia and I would read about minks and I would write a report, and then I'd have to teach it to him. I would say, like, well, minks are, farmed and they are made, people make them into coats, and I would do all the things. And I just felt like it was so valuable that I could read something, learn something, and teach somebody else. And so I think that was like my first experience with really falling in love with the teaching aspect. And so I graduated from high school. I went to University of Texas, and like many of us, moved to Austin and hook 'em. And I just never really left. And so I loved university so much. I thought, well, if I just start teaching, it's going to be just like being at university all the time. And I was so young and so naive. My first year in the classroom, I was, 21 or 22 years old. And I stood up in front of my class and I actually taught Spanish my very first year. So fun fact. Yes. And I stood up and I thought, I'm going to, at a high school, actually at Ball High School in Galveston, Texas. That was my first teaching job. And I thought, I'm going to stand up in front of this class and I'm going to teach them these things and they're just going to be in awe and they're just going to love it. And nobody listened to me. I stood up in front of the class and I tried to like lecture and it was just a complete and total failure. And so, but from that failure, it fired me to learn how do I teach. And so I would say from that experience, it's been a 23-year journey of like, what's the art of teaching? How do people learn? How do young people learn? How do we engage people? And how do we keep people in love with learning? So circling back as a child, I think we all have those experiences where we're just drawn to learn. We just want to know about the environment around us. But somewhere along the way, if learning becomes boring, people become disengaged. And so my kind of passion is how to keep students, how to keep people in love with learning. And so that's kind of my journey. I don't have it perfected yet, but that's what our school is all about, is just that engagement and helping students fall in love with learning and helping teachers stay in love with teaching.
So I was teaching stuffies, stuffed animals, and you're pulling out the encyclopedia to teach your dad. And was he a teacher? Did he have a background? Like, that's such a good parenting hack.
No, my dad is actually a doctor. He's a medical doctor. And so that was
Okay.
also really cool. I was like, my dad knows everything, but he doesn't know this, and I can teach him this. So I felt very empowered, and I think that really was the key to lifelong love of teaching there.
Mm. I think we'll kind of get to this, but I think what your dad did for you as a young girl and like instilling in you that early on that you're smart, you're capable, you're resourceful, like you can do something independently. Like, I think again, maybe not consciously, like he probably wasn't. He probably honestly having, now being a parent, right? It's like, please just give them an activity that will occupy them for like 30 minutes so I can like get dinner prepped. But he was doing this like really clever thing, which again, I'm kind of getting ahead of ourselves of like, because now I know what you're currently doing, which is really empowering for a little girl. And I think you carry it into to what you're doing now. So, okay, so then maybe let's talk about where you are currently, because you are, for our listeners, after you hear where she is currently, you're going to be like, why is she on your podcast right now? So to tell us a little bit about your current current.
So we had our very first day of school ever on Wednesday. So today is Tuesday. So what is that?
Yeah,
Five
five
business days
days.
ago. So yeah, that was our very first day of school ever in the history of school. And yeah, so what else do you want to know? What else do you want to know?
Well, before this, you were like, I'm living 2 weeks ago because that's how like fast things have gone. So you are, yeah, so you founded this all girls school, which, for our listeners, I told you in the bio and, so like this is a passion project. Your charter was approved 2 years
In
ago?
June,
No,
no, June, 1 year ago and 2 months.
1 year ago and 2 months. And so you've spent the last year of your just grinding trying to get this done. And I mean, you were down to the wire with your facilities, which every founder can relate to. So for you to open door, I mean, let's just a round of applause for you getting it done.
Well,
How
listen,
are you
I will
feeling?
say that if I have anything to fall back on through this whole experience, is that I truly believe that there is a much greater power that is driving this whole project. And I'm just kind of the hands and the boots on the ground. And so you have seen everything fall into place at the very last minute, but I have always felt complete peace that it's all going to work out.
I
It's
love that.
very challenging, but it's also humbling in that I feel very fortunate to have received this vision. And it's not exactly the vision that I thought of. I thought I was going to, my background is international baccalaureate. And so I thought I got my principalship. I was an IB coordinator. I thought I'm going to be the leader of an IB school. International baccalaureate, IB is, short for that.
Yeah.
And I started the incubator to design a school, and the community was like, "No, we don't need another Ivy school. What we really want is a girls' school." And
Mm.
so I thought, "Huh, really, really?" So we spent about a year pressure testing that. The data definitely checks out. Girls learn at a much faster rate in a single gender school. They're 6 times more likely to go on to a STEM major and STEM career when they're in a single gender school. Test scores in math are higher, science. So really it was phenomenal. But then to ask the girls in our focus groups, do y'all want a girls' school? And they were like, yes, unequivocally, Missy. Every single girl said, yes, we want this. We would much rather be in an environment. So we had like single gender focus groups, and they were like, we love this. We
Yeah.
want to be able to talk to each other. We want to build relationships. We want to feel this sisterhood. We love this. And so everything really aligned, and just that, I believe, is something that didn't come from my skill set. It came from somewhere else. And so when I kind of submitted to that, like, okay, this is what's happening, it's really just been, I don't want to make it sound like it's been too easy, because it's been very challenging, but like it just all happened. Like we got
Yeah.
our authorization. The state of Texas really supports this as well. Again, it's backed by research, and even the single gender. We're part of the YWPN network. We're in a sister school, and the YWPN is the Young Women's Prep Network of Texas. Almost all of their schools are in the top 100 schools, public schools in Texas.
Mm.
And so it just really is a model for success. And so we signed our lease. And so I got my charter in June. We signed the lease in January, I believe, at the facility that we're at right now. And we had a remodel, and they said the remodeling was going to be done in June. Well, it wasn't done until I think 3 weeks ago. And so it was the
Oh my
day
gosh.
before teachers came in for teacher PD. We're like, we just have to move things around on the calendar, but everything's going to be fine. And guess what, Missy? Everything was fine. So yeah, it's been an incredible journey.
So I like to ask the question of a superpower for leaders, because I think you all have your own. Like it's, for you, you talked about just like having this vision. I mean, your optimism might be your superpower as an outsider looking in, because I'm like to a fault pessimist, right? Like I'm just like, it's all gonna fail. And I just like get so worked up. But what would you say is your superpower as
Yes.
a
So
leader?
I actually talked to my executive assistant about this yesterday when we were prepping for this, and I was like, "Can I tell them what I think my superpower is?" And she's like, "Yeah, just
Yes.
tell them." I really do believe that it's like every single morning, I sit down, and the first thing I do is I realign with my vision. And so I am absolutely disciplined in setting my vision the very first thing in my day. And as soon as I'm in alignment with my vision, everything else falls into place. And so I think that I don't know if that's a superpower, but maybe that's just something that I believe is a guiding force in my life, that is my number one priority, is making sure that is set first, and then everything else can happen throughout the day. As long as the vision is set, everything will fall into place.
And when you're saying setting a vision or like realigning with your vision, is this a professional vision? Like, is this I'm realigning to this, like my school's vision? Is this a personal, like at the type of person you want to be vision? Is it all of the above? Does that vision change? Tell me more. Tell me more
Um,
what that looks like.
no, it's my purpose, right? Like
Per-
why am I here? What am I
Yeah,
doing? What
yeah,
is my,
yeah.
why am I working so hard every day? And it is really truly for these girls to you were a teenage girl. I was a teenage girl. It's everything that you maybe didn't receive, what I didn't receive, what my daughters didn't receive. Everything that we do is for our girls, our current Texas Girls School girls, to graduate empowered, to be 17 or 18 and feel sure of who they are, know what their treasures are that they're bringing to the world, and to just be confident. Like, if we can graduate girls who are confident and empowered at 17, think about all the incredible things that they can achieve in
Yeah.
their life. So I think that just a real focus
Yeah.
and dedication to that is what our purpose is.
Yeah. Yeah. As a mom of two little girls, right? Like, and you just that is like what you hope for them, right? You just and you work really hard to make sure that they can fulfill everything that they want, right? Like that they can have big dreams and that you can help them get there. And that's I love that. I love that vision or that purpose for you. And I think that's a really great reminder for school leaders because I think you mentioned, right? Like this work is really hard and the days are really long and you're up against a lot of things that could make you really pessimistic and really just feel defeated. And I think, yeah, going back to that vision and saying, nope, like this is what I'm driving for, this is the reason I'm doing this work. And again, everybody's vision is going to be different, but as long as they're centering around that, it does make some of those hard conversations or like those uphill battles a little bit more doable because you're like, okay, this is in service to this thing that I feel really really strong and passionate about. So I think that's awesome. Okay, so Dana, you've talked to us a little bit, just you gave us a little bit of glimpse of maybe some rewarding or things that you're proud of and then challenging aspects. But thinking about your organization, where you are currently in this season of life, what are some things that you are most proud of? And then maybe what are some things that are really challenging right now in this season? Just one.
Yeah. So I'm really proud of the team that we've put together. It is so many dedicated, mission aligned founders mindset. So we are pivoting constantly. So we set a course and we're like, we're going full speed ahead this way. And then we're like, wait, a little bit to the right. And everyone is like, okay, to the right, and if somebody's like, no, I can't move to the right, then they, fall off the ship. So it's a very much, you have to be able to be very nimble in a founding organization. And I think that's something that not everybody has. So when I was hiring, I made sure, like, are you passionate? Are you mission aligned? Do you have a founder's mindset? And those are the three like non-negotiables. So I think I've done a really good job in
Yeah.
hiring for those things. And we have a great team and we're all very dedicated to the love of learning and keeping things joyful and, nurturing and challenging is what our mission statement says. Then the things I think that are most challenging right now is that people don't know we exist. We just moved into our building 3 weeks ago. And so up
Yeah.
until then, we had to do everything virtually. Like, we're meeting with parents virtually, we're meeting with parents in coffee shops. And so they wanted to see that we actually have a school building and what it's going to look like. And now that we have all those things, I think that it's about letting people know what we're all about and having them come in and do a tour. We're doing tours every Monday
Yeah.
at 11 and 2 to just show off our facilities because we have so much that we're proud of. We've been really able to launch and put into reality what we were dreaming about. So let me give you an example. Our school model, four things. We've already talked about single gender. We've talked about college prep. We are also STEM focused and project based learning. And so one of the really cool things that was a challenge to get approved by TEA was our students are in traditional classes 4 days a week. Friday is a flex day. And when I was a teacher, I was a teacher for 15 years, I always wanted to take my kids on field exploration. So we were doing a unit on rural land use. I wanted to take them to a farm. Well, to take a group of 120 kids to a farm is not easy because you have to like,
Mm-mm.
what day are, let's go on Friday. Well, they have a math test. Well, let's go on Thursday. Well, they have a science test. So it wasn't about, the difficulty wasn't getting them off campus. It was alignment with all the other courses. So
Yeah.
we've eliminated that. Every Friday is the opportunity for a flexible learning experience. So, because of budget, we can't go on a field trip every Friday. So, we
Right.
also have design challenges on campus. So, this Friday is going to be our very first design challenge, and the girls are engineering fairy and insect houses. And so, we have this huge, I know these are
Stop.
sixth and seventh grade girls.
I'm just
Yes,
like,
I know, right? And so
my daughters would just be dying right now. I can't wait to tell them.
I know, well, as soon as they're ready, they can apply.
Yeah,
So,
for second grade. So we got a couple years. So yeah.
a couple
Okay. Oh
years.
my gosh. So cute.
Um, yeah, we'll have everything perfected by then, Missy. But so we have so much outdoor learning space. The girls are going to go gather outdoor materials. They're going to create the houses. But first, before they can create, they have to sketch it and think it through. And then they create it and then they reflect and then they have to present it. So they have to tell us, it's not the end outcome, it's the process. What were your thoughts? How did you design
Yeah.
this? What would you do differently? And so I think that we're all engineers in some way. We're all designing things. Humans just create, right? Scientists observe, engineers create, but we're both. We just don't know it. And so just allowing these girls to see themselves as engineers and in a very easy way for them to engage. And then as they grow, like sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, the engineering will become more complex, but they will see themselves as engineers. I do build things, I do
Yeah.
design things. So yeah, we're super excited about Friday. I'll send you pictures, but that's one of
Please
our,
do. That's adorable.
yeah. And then
Gosh.
so after they do that, they're going to do that for 2 Fridays. And then we're doing our first field exploration. We're going to the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. And they're going to learn more
So
about
great.
natural Texas wildflowers and then think about how we can plant them in our back area for the spring. So, yeah, just so excited, Missy. It's so fun.
That's so great. And what a good skill because I'm currently in the process of like trying to figure out what I can plant when I have water restrictions in my neighborhood, right? Like I'm like, we're in Texas. Like I have to be really strategic about the things that I plant. Like I would love beautiful hydrangeas. We
No,
can't plant
no,
hydrangeas.
you can't. Yes.
We can't plant not in Texas.
Lantanas.
Mm-mm. So
Yes, those are
okay.
great native, and those are water resistant or drought resistant, low water. So
Drought resistant. Okay.
yeah, go check out the Lady Bird Johnson
Okay.
Wildflower Center to get a bunch of
I should
natural
do that.
foliage.
I should do that. I
Or
should do
my
that.
girls, come and
Um,
have them teach you at our exhibition of learning
there you go.
a quarter.
That can be their reports. Yeah, they can make a TikTok about it or whatever the children are doing these days. Um, okay, so you are, of course, like you spend a lot of your waking hours thinking all things Texas Girls School. But you are a mom, you are a friend, you are clearly a daughter. Like you have other identities and like need to invest in those. And I feel like, and you have like a 20 plus year career of doing this, right, in education. So I guess my question, and for all leaders, right, like just trying to figure out, like, how do you sustain this career? Like, how do you show up at Texas Girls School as the founder and CEO, but then also just show up in life as Dana with this whole other person that you need to take care of and other people that you need to take care of? My question is this: is there a resource? Is there a skill? Is there an easy button? Is there a hack? Like, what are you doing, Dana, that allows you to juggle all the balls and to be all the things?
Uh, well, that's very sweet of you. And I drop the ball all the time. I have four
Well, yes, we
children.
all do.
Luckily, three are in college. And so they require just phone calls. I don't have to like cook for them
That's
unless
great.
they come home. That makes it a lot easier. I don't think I could do this work if they were still at home. I have a founder friend who makes dinner every night. And I'm like, girl, how do you? Like, where do you get the time? So a lot of takeout meals, a lot of door dashing, like a lot of those cutting corners. But I would say for me, for people who know me well, the question they ask is, did you get to your yoga? When's the last time you did yoga? I think that just, reconnecting with the body, the breath, those are sustaining practices. Going on a long walk, those are just really non negotiables that have to happen in order to balance the amount of work that we put into building these strong school systems. So, yeah, I would say weekend real hard, like turn everything off, really reset, relax, rejuvenate, and then, balance in the evenings and in the morning so that you can be there fully for the workday.
Yeah. Now, is there anything, because for some, like they can't, right? Like they can't, they're not getting all their work done in the workday. Like they can't do that hard reset yet, whether they're just new in the career or just haven't given themselves that permission to do it. But is there a resource or a template or something, any work hack that's like, no, as long if because I have this, I mean, you mentioned like checking in with yourself on a daily basis to align on vision, but is there something where you're like, no, like I've figured out like a delegating, or I have this tracker that allows me to balance other aspects of my life so that I can free up time to be able to get to yoga or to be able to go on that long walk? Like, is there any sort of professional hack that you have that you're
Yes.
doing right now?
This
What?
is what I tell my teachers. Do not turn on your Gmail alerts on your phone. Do not get a pop up
Okay.
when you get an email. That email can wait. There, if it is an emergency, you will get a text. So, number
Yeah.
one, no Gmail pop ups. Number two,
Okay.
do not check your work email after 8 p.m. Just don't. Probably earlier than that, but like for real, hard line, nothing after 8 p.m. needs your attention
Yeah.
because you need to like
Yeah.
settle in, get ready for bed, turn your brain off. So, like, those are my two that I tell my teachers, like, do not do that.
That's awesome.
Apple Watches, throw them out the door. You do not need to be tethered to this urgent, again, if it's a text, it'll come up on your phone. And if they really need you, they'll call. We can
Yeah.
take a step back of this like nonstop mentality. And so I check my email when I check my email. I control who
Yeah.
checks the email. The email doesn't control me.
Yeah.
Same with
Yeah.
text messages. It's totally fine to turn your phone upside down and not receive text, even as a school leader.
Yeah.
For real, for
Yeah.
real, I can go without receiving text for a few hours. We are very, even though we're a STEM school, there's just this spaciousness that exists to not be tethered to that culture of now, 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 now. So in our school, we are a cell phone free campus. We were no cell before it was legislation. So we are cell phone free, bell to bell, because it's a distraction. We want our girls
Yeah.
to go deep while they're at school, go deep. Same with the teachers. So how is it going to be I'm on a phone in front of my
Right.
students, so it's setting the
Yeah.
standards of like I'm not on my phone. So when we were setting up our school, Missy, we spent a lot of money to set up an intercom system because we wanted parents to know that your child, if you call us on the phone, we can hang up the phone and we can immediately intercom your kid. So there's no lapse. And then the other thing is we set up landlines in every single teacher's classroom and we tell them, we'll call you if we need you. You call us if you need us.
Yeah.
And then third, admin, we have old fashioned walkie talkies. We do not text
Oh,
each
girl.
other. We walkie talkie
Love
each other.
it.
So we are like doing those things so that we are in control of
Yeah.
communication rather than communication controlling us. So I think like those are maybe some hacks that I think are
Yeah.
give us the ability to really like focus on one another and focus on what we're doing. Oh my gosh, the girls having lunch with no cell phones is the most wholesome, sweetest thing. I just love it. They're just chatting with each other because like there's no other options. Like you just talk,
Yeah.
you just talk, and it's fine. It's good.
And it's fine. It's such a good skill because so many kids don't know how to talk to each other anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just, yeah, because they're just behind a screen. Oh, I love that. I love that. All right. Anything else before I ask you my final question that I ask all of my guests as we wrap up?
I don't know. I feel like I've told you a whole lot, Missy.
I love it. I love it. And I loved every single second of it. It was so good. Okay, well, this is hopefully an easy one, and there's no right or wrong answer, obviously, as there hasn't been for any of these questions. But in the spirit of my company's name, CheckBox Pro, what is one box, big or small, personal or professional, that you hope to check off today?
What's one box I hope to check off today? Well,
Yeah,
yoga. I want to get to yoga
there you
today.
go. One of these days, I'd like to be able to touch my toes.
Girl,
So
for
I need to
real?
make that for real. It's terrible. It's terrible, Dana.
Well,
I cannot.
it's start slow. It's baby steps.
I know it's the discipline though, because you have to do those baby steps like every day.
Yeah, that's right,
And I
Missy.
forget to stretch every day. I forget
The
to do
journey
it.
of 1,000 miles starts with one step. You can do it. I
I
believe in
know.
you. I believe in you. I'm going to check in on you about that too. I'm making a note.
Gosh, please don't. And you probably will because you're like really disciplined. Well, Dana, this was so fun. Thank you for being here after having only opened your school 5 days ago. This was a very big ask, and I appreciate the time, and I just always appreciate getting a chance to chit chat with you. So,
Yeah.
um, I will be watching from afar. Please send me pictures of the fairy houses.
Okay.
That's the cutest. And yeah, for our listeners, check out, if you were in the Austin, especially Northwest Austin
Mhm.
and like Cedar Park area, that's where their school's located. And if you have to have a daughter or, so grade 6 right now, just 6.
Yes, you can have a daughter or you can be a funder if you'd like to come by for a tour. I'm happy to host you Mondays, 11 and 2. 6th and 7th grade.
Um,
We're accepting transfer students.
okay. Perfect. And then you can follow y'all. I know y'all are active on LinkedIn. So listeners, check out Dana on LinkedIn, follow Texas Girl Schools on LinkedIn. But yeah, this was fun. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's
All
good to
right,
see you.
touch those
All
toes.
right. Talk, talk to you soon.